guys, Ash and Kaylee here from Royally Fit. We are talking intermittent fasting today because it is crazy popular right now. We've been getting so many questions about it, and so we kind of want to take this time to debunk some things for you and go over our experience. So our goal today is to educate you. We're going to go over some of the pros, some of the cons. We're going to go over who it's right for, who it's not for, as well as our own personal experience and how we recommend specifically women do it if they're going to be doing intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Please let us know if you have any questions, because we hope this is a really good conversation because you guys have been asking so much about it.
We have been doing research for the last few weeks, so we have notes. So
Yes.
we might not be maybe quite as engaging myself when I'm reading you the benefits, because I really want you to understand how it's working, what the benefits are. So I will be reading a little bit for today.
Yeah, and that's fine. We want to make sure that we don't ramble too. So that's kind of our goal of our notes. So we're actually going to start with that. So we're going to be starting with some of the benefits, and Kelly's going to be going over that for you today.
Okay, so one of the things that Ashley and I really struggled with actually originally was we've been told, and everybody's been told, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And you have to get your breakfast in to get your metabolism going. And then you have to eat small meals and keep your body revved up. So this kind of goes against everything that we've learned our whole lives and been drilled. Same with you. So it is definitely a change. What I really like about this, though, is that it takes a lot of the pressure off.
Hey, Pat.
Hey! It takes a lot of the pressure off of you. So it's actually like you can kind of take a step back and stop focusing so much on being obsessed with when you're going to eat, how much you're going to eat, portioning things out. So basically, first off, we'll just kind of explain of what intermittent fasting is.
Yep, good start.
So typically, there is no real rule, but typically the ideal kind of ratio is that you would have 16 hours where you don't eat and then an 8-hour feeding window. Okay, so that seems like a really long time, but the beauty of this is that you can fast while you're sleeping. So ideally, again, how it would be is maybe you would finish your dinner at 6 o'clock at night, and then you would have your breakfast at 10 o'clock the next morning, and that would be a 16-hour window. But that doesn't mean you have to go for 16 hours, especially when you're getting used to doing this. 12 hours is plenty. When we first started practicing with this, we kind of did 12 hours up to 13, 14. I can do 16 sometimes. Sometimes, not so much. But that's just basically what it is, that you're not eating for a period of time. Okay, so I will go over some of the benefits that we know about this. So one of the first things is it's really great for detoxing your body. So cleansing and detoxing is something your body is doing all of the time. It's happening 24 hours a day. But while this process is automatic and always happening, it definitely is hindered when you're eating. So it's not just hindered by a poor diet, it actually can be hindered by a healthy diet, because if you're eating constantly, your body never has time to rest. It's always digesting. So it's not letting the liver relax and detox, and your organs are always like working basically. So when you're not eating and you're fasting, it's giving your body a break to do some like self-cleaning, okay? From there, also hormone regulation is a really awesome thing that it can help with. So fasting has a dramatic impact on your human growth hormone levels, so your HGH levels.
This is what really attracted me.
Yes. So increased HGH results in greater endurance with faster muscle repair and growth, as well as slowing of the aging process. Hello, win right there.
Yeah.
So there is actually a study that showed that if you do fasting and you incorporate interval training or like HIIT training, high intensity interval training, your HGH levels in women will be increased by 1,300%, which is crazy. So it also just means that your body's repairing faster, so you'll recover quicker from your workouts. You won't be as stiff. You'll get that lean muscle building quicker.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Which is absolutely amazing, and we were so pumped about that because that's the exact style of workouts we do with Royally Fit Online and classes and personal training. So we really push HIIT training.
Yes.
So it's the perfect pair with HIIT training if done properly, and we'll get to that.
Yes. We already said that. Oh, it's actually really good too for normalizing your insulin levels, which is huge. So leptin, the hormone that regulates your fat storage, as well as the hunger signals, and ghrelin. So leptin and ghrelin. I always say ghrelin. Ghrelin. Another hormone that tells your brain when you're hungry. These are normalized and become more stable when you're fasting. So basically, your brain isn't getting the signals that you're hungry. It's helping to like control all those and make you feel not, I guess, as ravenous, which is what, like, I really thought I was going to be hungry all the time when doing this, but I actually am shocked when, you know, you hear people say, like, I feel great, I'm not even that hungry. You're like, yeah, okay. I am in that cycle now where I do feel great and clear. And that was actually another one of the benefits, is that it actually can really help with, like, clearing your mind and mental clarity, which is one of the things that you were into a lot too.
Yes, that was another big one for me.
Another benefit is weight loss. So if you are looking to lose weight, it's not going to be like a magic pill and you're all of a sudden going to drop 30 pounds. It's not anything like that, but it can definitely help with the weight loss process. So the natural sugars in any meal that aren't immediately needed for energy get stored in your body as glycogen. So I guess stored in your liver as glycogen. So when your maximum glycogen storage has been achieved, the body then stores that as fat, okay? So the glycogen stores in your body typically run out after about 6 to 8 hours. So after you've used up all your glycogen that your liver has stored in 6 to 8 hours, from there, it then starts to dig into that glycogen that was stored as fat. So now it's literally going in and taking away the fat.
Yeah, and that's often happens between the 12 and the 16-hour point.
Yes.
So it is good if you are going to be intermittent fasting and getting the full benefits. You're going to benefit at 12 hours, but you're going to get full benefits of that from that window. So that 4-hour window that happens right there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are people that go as extreme as doing the 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window. Ash and I that's not something we want to do. I think that's not a way to live your life. I think 16 hours is enough of a struggle. So, but do what works for you.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a moment.
Yes, yes.
Brittany has a quick question, then I'm going to go into, are you done with the benefits?
Yeah.
And then I'll go into the cons. So Brittany has a question about, can this type of fasting have any effect on your thyroid? And not that we learned, obviously that was a concern of mine, Brittany, because I have hypothyroidism. So it doesn't have any effect that we could find. And in fact, it can have a really positive effect on your hormones. And I was wondering how I would be doing with that and how it would affect like just the way I felt in the morning. And I'll get into more of that later, but I have actually been feeling pretty good. So to answer your question, from the research we've found so far, no, it doesn't have a negative effect on your thyroid. So I think that you'll be good. And in fact, you're not supposed to be having your thyroid medication with food anyways. So it has its full effect on your thyroid gland. So I hope that answers your question. But if I find any different sort of stuff, I will definitely let you know.
I'm sure you'll get to this, but how often would you like us to do this? Like once a week? Okay,
so
we will get to that.
That's what we'll get to, because that is a huge impact on women in particular. And so that's what I'm going to get to right now is the cons. So I've been extremely hesitant to talk about intermittent fasting, even though I've been getting questions about it lately, and I've actually been learning and hearing about it for like the last 2 years. And I was obviously, like Kaylee said, super like, nope, not a chance, because we're so ingrained that you should be eating. And another big concern of mine is that, like, after all the years of going over women's food journals, my biggest challenge is that you guys don't eat enough. So I was like, okay, well, why do I want to tell people intermittent fast and then encourage this? So one of the cons for me is that it can encourage a calorie deficit, and that is the worst thing that you could do during a fast. So fasting does not mean you need to lower your calories during that day. A fasting means that you have a big window period, like we're saying, from 12 to 16 hours where you don't eat. But within that 8-hour window, you should be eating the calories that you're meant to have in a day. And so when I'm constantly encouraging women to eat more and more and more, obviously this was a natural concern of mine because I don't want it to promote a calorie deficit. Yes, if you do a calorie deficit for a while, you are going to see some changes for the first couple weeks, but you will hit a plateau 100%. And then if anything, you will actually start to gain weight again. So it's very important to us as we teach you to do this, that you don't look at it as a calorie deficit. So for me, that was a con and a concern when talking about intermittent fasting, is that a lot of women would look at it as a calorie deficit, like allowance. And that's not what it is. And another reason that's a concern, and that kind of works within this, is that if you do have like a lot of times that you're fasting and you do go too low in your calories, or you're just fasting a lot in general, you're gonna increase stuff like hormones in your body, which are going to be telling your body that it's really, really hungry. And when your body's really, really hungry, it starts to affect the female hormones, because traditionally, we are meant to bear children. Doesn't mean that you're going to bear children, but that is what our bodies are biologically meant to do. So when we're not eating, our body's cue is like, oh, okay, I'm going to turn the ovaries off and we're not going to stimulate these hormones because I don't want this person to bear a child because they would not be able to hold this child well and build a healthy baby. So we don't want you guys doing this and suppressing that because then you're going to have hormone concerns. So there is this fine balance we find with the general population. There are always exceptions to the rules, but we do know some women that do it every day, but we definitely do not recommend doing it every day because you don't want to train your body that you're going through a starvation or a fasting this often, and then also you want to make sure that you're not having that calorie deficit. So that is another big concern, especially for somebody like me that did lose my period for 2 years. So and I know a lot of people on here that may be watching even struggle with fertility and stuff. So there's a fine line here. Yes, there's a lot of benefits, but you do need to be cognizant that there are some concerns. So you can't go into it just focusing on the fat loss. You have to be very aware of how this can affect you individually, and it might not affect Kelly the same way it affects me, and it might not affect your best buddy the way it affects you. So you have to be very cognizant of your own hormones, your own body, and what's going on. Because you can have concerns, and that can even happen if you start to lose weight and your body fat gets too low.
You have to listen to your body. That's the number one thing with this, is that it's not like there's not one plan fits everybody. It's specific to you. So 12 hours fasting 3 days a week might be perfect for somebody. Somebody else might thrive on doing it 5 days a week for a 16-hour fast. In the beginning, we would recommend 2 days a week.
2, 3 tops. Yeah.
3 tops. And then maybe on week 2, week 3, introduce another day. And then kind of get used to maybe the 3 days a week. See how you feel with that. I've noticed that I actually feel really good and that I like it. In general, I've never been a breakfast person. I actually always feel guilty when I was told you had to eat breakfast because the food to me in the morning is so unappealing that I would force myself to eat and feel nauseous. And so it's actually lovely for me. I feel great. And now I'm probably doing about 4 days a week, but it all depends on the week too. If I have a crazy schedule and it doesn't work out, I might do it twice. If I have a more chill week and I'm kind of at home a bit more, I can do it maybe 5 days. So don't get a number stuck in your head. Just listen to your body.
Yeah. And so that kind of leads us into who this is good for. So Kelly's going to go over who this intermittent fasting would be good for. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about who it might not be a good idea for because it's not meant for everyone.
Yeah. So this is for somebody, it's good for people that, I don't even really know how to word it, I guess, but that have more freedom, I guess, and flexibility with their schedule. So it could be something that, all of a sudden at 11 o'clock, you're famished and you need to eat and you have access to food. So you want to make sure that if you're doing it, you have the option to eat and that your schedule is flexible. And that it's not something that all of a sudden you get starving and there's no options and you have to go another 4 hours without eating, okay? It's also good for somebody that doesn't have, somebody that is looking for weight loss, is good and feeling good about food and doesn't have necessarily a negative kind of connotation or an obsession kind of thing. It's something that you're not restricting calories like she was saying. You're going to be eating all of your calories within a shorter amount of time. So me, I'm not a person who likes to graze that much. I actually really love big meals. So this is why I love it. I love to sit down and crush. Hence why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Mm-hmm. So it's great for me because I can sit down and have a really big lunch and feel full and satisfied. And then I know in about another 4 hours, I'm gonna have another big meal. And then typically if I'm doing 8 hours, I'll have 3 big meals every kind of 4 hours. My middle one might not be as big because I'm honestly not that hungry because I'm eating so much of that first meal. So making sure that you have the time to eat it and then you're prepped. You also want to make sure you have the food around you. So if you're kind of running around all the time and it's crazy and you don't know when your next meal is going to be, you're going to have to do some planning with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's basically not a lot of people that can't do it, but there are a few exceptions to the rule, and that's what Ashley's going to talk about.
Yeah. So just a quick little bit about, I'm basically the exact opposite of Kaylee. I wake up and I have to take my thyroid pill, and sometimes it drives me bonkers because I really want to eat. So it has been ingrained in me, but I've also always been a girl that wants to wake up and I want to eat and I want to feel energized and good. So I didn't want to talk about something and promote something or not promote something without giving it a shot. So I gave this a shot, and I definitely did better than I expected. But I did learn what the kind of person it would not be good for. So it's definitely not good for a lot of people that are on here and they follow us, maybe teachers, or they might work at somewhere like OPG or any sort of job that you have like a very specific time that you can eat, and you don't have access to food, you don't have access to water, you don't have access to any of that except for a certain time. So that might be you, and we don't actually recommend fasting, especially on those days. Maybe it's something that you do on the weekend, but don't do it on that day, because if you get to hour 14 and you're really hungry and you're starting to feel sluggish, or you're starting to get a little bit of brain fog, it's very important that you eat at that point. It's not something that should be a challenge. This has to be very natural for you, so you go as far as you can, and you might get a little bit further. But it's not going to be good for those people, because then you're going to feel really discouraged, and then you're probably not going to reap the full benefits, and it's going to have a negative effect on you mentally, and then as a result physically. So it's not good for those people, and it's probably not going to be good for anybody that has a history or is currently suffering with an eating disorder. So for somebody like that that's already struggling to eat, we're actually encouraging you to go longer windows of period without eating. It's probably not going to be a good idea for you, because it's going to foster more of that mentality and that psyche of not eating and being okay with that. And
the obsession of trying to get longer and longer, and can I do 20 hours? Can I do 22? And that's where it gets dangerous.
Yeah, and then that's also when, maybe I could eat less and less and less and see how far I could take this, and that is not a good idea. So you have to have a really healthy relationship with food to be able to do this and be successful at it. So it's definitely not good for those people. And then, like we mentioned earlier, if you have any hormonal issues when it comes to fertility, I would definitely do some research, talk to your doctor, make sure that it's a good idea for you. Because we definitely don't want to be having any sort of an influence on that. And you might not, but you have to be cognizant that that is a possibility. When you're suppressing your appetite that much, you are going to increase your hormones to shut down those ovaries and basically want to do anything that
I think we have a few questions. Maybe
yeah, sure, let's go to those.
You just scroll up.
Yeah, so go that way.
You do it.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. I don't want to shut it off or something.
No problem. Okay. Okay. You're welcome, Brittany. I think, that was Rebecca. Is this something you will continue to do after trying? I don't think this is something that interests me. I'm just catching up now. Great question. So that's what we're going to actually be getting into, Ash, is talking about our experience. So if you can wait in a moment, we'll answer these other questions, and we're going to get into our experience and whether we're going to consider even continuing to do it. So we'll get back to you on that.
When you say 3 days per week, is that 3 days in a row?
No, that's
break it up.
important.
So like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Tuesday and Thursday. You want days in between.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning. Like I said, if you start to get like really good at it and you're loving it and you want to do it 5 days a week, that's fine. But in the beginning, I would not do that to your body. It's too much of a shock. So ease yourself into it for sure.
Yeah. Great question. Mandy's saying, do you still have your green juice in the morning? No. So you actually break your fast as soon as you have calories. So you basically, if you're going to be doing intermittent fasting, you just want to try drinking water or black tea or black coffee. To ease into it, I started having just the smallest little bit of gelatin in my tea, because either way I would feel really nauseous. So now I'm transferring over to black coffee.
Yeah.
But the best thing is recommended is to have water, and you can have bone broth that has salt. So salt's really good for your electrolytes, and that will actually help to keep your energy up and you kind of feeling like really sharp. So those are things that you can have, but you can't have any green juice. You can't put milk in your coffee. You can't put cream in your coffee.
Sugar.
You can't put sugar, nothing that has calories, because as soon as you have a metabolic response, the fast is over. That means your stomach's working, your body's working.
However, once you complete the fast, a green juice would be the ultimate thing to put into your body after.
Yes.
Because your body is detoxifying, it's clean, it's ready. You put those nutrients in your body, it is going to be absorbed and digested so fast.
Yeah, it's like a punch of nutrients.
And then have your juice, and then have a big meal after that. But do the juice first so that it can get to your body and do what it needs to do, and then have your meal.
Yeah.
If you can. If you're too hungry and the thought of green juice kind of makes you maybe a little gaggy and you need food, then you can do that but again, play with it and start to figure it out. But if you can do the green juice, that's the perfect time.
Yeah, but it does break your fast, so don't have it, and if you're going to, until that fast.
And I'm actually not sure, because there was kind of conflicting information that I was reading, if you can do hot water with lemon. I think for the most part, I'm getting a response that it's okay to do the squeeze of lemon in your water. I think there was one study that I read that maybe said that it wasn't, but I think lemon water should be fine. I'm still doing lemon water.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much lemon you put in it too.
Yeah.
Right? And how many calories are in it, because it also has carbs and all that kind of
Yeah.
crap. But yeah, the traditional fast is like just pure water, but this is about making it individual. Like I couldn't imagine waking up, like my vice is caffeine. Like I could not imagine waking up and not having a tea or a coffee. Like that actually kind of makes me hurt on the inside. So like that is something I want. And I know it's more acidic, but if I'm going to make it through the fast, that's what I have to have. And then obviously I'll be having my green juice and stuff like that after. So next question. I read you can have coffee and tea and lots of water during the fast and avoid fruit after. And to avoid fruit after. Well, you're right about the water, coffee, and tea, as long as it's black. You're most welcome. But I don't actually agree. We didn't read anything on the fruit.
Is it saying like to not eat fruit like as soon as you finish your fast? Is that what you're hearing? I'm just not really sure if I'm understanding what I think it was meant.
It is really trendy to have a high-fat meal after.
Oh, I think maybe because it's so high in sugar. Is that what
Yes.
they're saying? Is you don't want your first meal to be fruit?
Yeah, but
Okay.
if you're having like a green juice, Pat, which I know that you have, don't worry about it because you have all the greens and everything in there. Especially if you're blending it, you got all that fiber. It's not going to spike your sugar and make you feel
I wouldn't
sick.
do a fruit smoothie because that would really spike your sugar for sure.
Yeah, or like a juice, like if you're actually juicing. But if you have like the green smoothie,
Or
the
veggies
green
in it,
juice,
yeah,
and then
to
you
slow it
have
down.
like the cucumber, the spinach,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff in it, I wouldn't worry.
But yes,
and
that's
the fiber.
correct. Yeah.
But yeah, you wouldn't want to go and have go and get I actually wouldn't recommend going and getting like a cold pressed juice that's just like pineapple and coconut water.
No, you need
So,
something with
yeah.
the vegetable or something to slow down the.
Yeah, and even if you are gonna have like some sort of smoothie, you could even put like almond butter or coconut oil or something in it that has fat to slow down that spike.
Avocado.
'Cause avocado. Ooh, I just had some in my smoothie this morning. So yeah, like that's what you don't want to have, or that's what you would want to have, so you don't get that sugar spike. That's the main thing there. So they're saying don't have fruit because of the sugar spike.
Yeah.
Because you've just gone so long to like stabilize your blood sugar. So I understand the theory, but don't be afraid to incorporate fruit into your things, like your green juice or your smoothie, as long as it's paired with other things.
Yeah.
It's just not fruit.
I think we got them all.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so to answer, let's go into our experiences then, to answer Ash's question as well as Rebecca's above. So I guess I'll start because I'm already talking. So for me, my experience was better than I thought. I thought I was really going to struggle with it mentally and I thought I was going to be starving because I am normally a girl that wakes up and gets going with food as soon as I can. So I feel like I did pretty good. Obviously, for Kaylee and I, our goal is not weight loss. So I did have the concern that I was going to feel like I was losing a little bit of muscle mass, but I am happy to report I don't feel like I did. I actually do feel like I got a good recovery rate with my workouts, and I felt like I had good focus. So during the fasting, I thought I was going to be like all over the place, and I actually felt pretty sharp.
Until hour 15. Then
yeah,
she started.
hour 15 is about my
She's
limit.
like, I gotta eat. I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, when I start to feel like I'm hungover, then it's time to have something to eat. So yeah, I would say hour 15 for me is the most, and I would probably myself only do it 2-3 times a week tops, just because of my personality. Because I'm the opposite of Kelly. Like I like to eat often, and I like to graze. And I'm not saying I don't like to sit down and take down like a big meal sometimes, but I am a grazer and I thrive off that. So for me, the fasting was more to see what it was like, to see how it affected me, just to experience something that people have been talking about so much and learn a little bit more about it. So on my own personal level, yes, I would continue doing it. And I would only continue doing it about 2 or 3 times a week. Now, my mind might change in 6 months. I might be like, screw intermittent fasting, never doing it again. Or I might do it 5 times a week. I don't know. I would never, ever recommend, personally, a woman to do it every single day. I know some people are super successful at it that we follow, but I just wouldn't do it myself.
Something that's too strict, it's too rigid. I don't like following rules that closely. And that's why I actually like the fasting so much, is because it's not a diet, it's not a calorie restriction, it's just changing the pattern of how you eat.
Yeah. And so for me, even 12 hours was a lot, because often we don't eat until after Rowan goes to bed. So we don't eat until 7:38, and then I would get up at 5, and then I would see my clients, and I'd be eating sometimes again by 6. So I'd only have like a 10-hour window. So for me, the 12 to 15 hour mark was good for me. And I can't say I felt differences in like weight loss. I didn't see any gains in my muscle because it's still so fairly new for me. I've only been doing it the last couple weeks. but maybe like 3 weeks, I guess, tops.
Yeah.
But I definitely did see an increase, whether it was in my head or not, about my muscle recovery, and I felt really focused. And yeah, so I definitely will continue doing it, and I will do it kind of on that rate, and then like for 2 or 3 times a week for like the 12-15 hour period.
So I think it was easier for me because one, I don't have kids, so and I'm an old woman at heart, so I go to bed really early, and then I get to sleep in because I don't have to be up usually till about 8 o'clock, which you guys all probably hate me when you hear me say that. So I'm sleeping longer than her, so that's probably why it's a bit easier for me.
Perhaps,
I'm not up at like 5 o'clock. But I actually, like I said, I love it because I naturally am not hungry in the morning at all, and I always felt so guilty about it. And to be honest, I like to work out in the morning, and I like to work out on an empty stomach. And I always felt guilty, and it was like my secret shame personal trainer thing I didn't like to tell people, because I was telling people you gotta eat, but it made me feel so nauseous that I couldn't do it. So I actually thrive on working out on an empty stomach if I'm doing a morning workout, not in the evening. So I actually was really excited when I learned that a lot of success is that you would fast, do your workout, and then break your fast right after your workout's done. That's not going to work for everybody. A lot of people that won't work for. Some, though, they say that that's going to be the best results is when you work out on an empty stomach in the morning and then break your fast.
Just make sure you break your fast after. Don't continue to go for like a 16, 17. Like if you're going to work
you're
out
going to lose
morning,
muscle so fast. If you do that, you're not going to see gains at all. So if you're working out, doing it, 100% get a big meal in right after that. With everything, protein, carbs, and fat, they all have to be in it.
Yeah, and don't force yourself to work out on a fasted stomach. Like I can actually work out fasted, but for example, the clients that I see early in the morning, if you guys are watching, hi, but like 2 of them can work out fasted and 1 can't. I notice a massive difference in her energy if she has something to eat, so it can be very individual. So don't force it. If you're hoping to get the biggest gains, you're gonna get less gains if you have a really crappy workout because you didn't eat. So you do have to know your body and your sensitivities to sugar and all that kind of stuff that way. So definitely, once again, it's about modifying and making it personal for you. But you do the growth hormone increase that Kelly was talking about really does boost up if you work out fasted as well.
And another option that you can do to customize this is if you want to work out in the morning and you know you don't want to do it fasted, instead of skipping breakfast, what some people actually do is they'll skip lunch. So they'll have their big breakfast, do their normal thing, skip lunch, and then kind of fast throughout the day, and then have a big dinner. So then they're getting like a 8-10 hour window during the day, which is still amazing. So don't think that it has to just be breakfast. It could be something where maybe you love breakfast and lunch and you want to have like a late lunch and eat that at like 2, and then you want to fast and then get up at first thing in the morning and eat. Customize it to what works best for you, but again, making sure that you don't feel ill. So one of the benefits that I'm seeing is actually my bloating has been really, really down. I get bloated very easily. Like I'm like the queen of the food baby. So I've noticed my bloating is down. And I actually do find that I'm a bit more focused. I'm getting into that part where I see the clear thinking. The first few weeks I was like, I don't understand how you feel clear-headed right now. I'm like foggy and hungry. But now I'm feeling really good actually. And I do find I have a little bit in the morning where I start to feel pretty hungry for like a few minutes. And then it actually does pass. And I when I was watching all the videos and reading up on it, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it passes. It really has for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel good. And then when I do eat my lunch, like I'm ready to eat, but I'm not like ravenous. So I'm enjoying it a lot. I typically right now I'm doing it about 4 days a week. I will keep doing this for sure. Again, I might change my tune and be like, no. And who knows, the rules are always changing. We might do another conversation with this in 6 months where we're like, okay, here's the modified version of it now. But as of now, all the research we've done, and it's also something that's been going around forever and ever and ever. This isn't something that's new. It's maybe more new to like North America
and just mainstream. Like it just has this like snowball effect, and for whatever reason, somebody made it really popular again recently, and it's like it's grown like wildfire. Yeah. So it's in your face a lot, and that's why a lot of people have been learning about it or hearing about it. But no, it's definitely not a new thing. It's been around for quite a while. That's why breakfast is called breaking fast.
Yeah.
So you are supposed to give your body that little bit of a break. So yeah, it definitely goes against the grain of what we've learned, but we decided to get in there and learn a lot and give it a shot ourselves to see how we felt and what we thought of it, and whether we would even consider recommending something like this. So I guess the synopsis is, yes, we would consider doing this if you do it properly, and if you're just tapping in now, make sure you go back to make sure that this is an appropriate fast for you, and it's not a diet. This is not a calorie restriction. It is very important, if you're going to do this, that you get all of your calories in, that you're never going really hungry, right? You're never going hungry. You're never going, you don't feel like foggy, and you feel sharp and you feel good. It should be effortless. And so take it, week by week or day by day, and like however you feel. And so if you need to start with 12 hours like I did, you start with 12 hours and you kind of work your way up from there. And some days it might be 12, some days it might be 16.
And don't beat yourself up. If you were planning to do it on a Tuesday and all of a sudden you got home late because your kid had hockey practice and you got stuck in traffic and you're starving and you're like, well, I can't eat before I go to bed. Don't let this be something that like stresses you out. Mm-hmm. Just try it the next day.
Great point.
Just do what works for you, customize it for you.
Yeah.
And see. Yeah. Just play around with it.
It's not a hard and fast rule.
Yeah.
And it's not a diet. So,
and there's so much like literature out on that now that if you want to continue looking, there's so many like YouTubers and like articles written and books and stuff like that. So you can really dive in. How do you lose weight without the calorie deficit? So we're not saying in general that you shouldn't have a calorie deficit. So obviously when you're trying to lose weight, you need to consume less calories than you're burning. That's still the case. So if you were normally eating, let's say 2,000 calories and you want to lose weight, so you want to go down to 1,700 calories to chip away at that, you still want to stick with that 1,700. We're not saying to go above, but we're just saying don't do 500 calories or 1,000 calories. You're not trying to starve yourself. You're still eating what you would normally eat in a day, but just in a smaller window.
Like a lot of women, for some reason, try to get 1,200 calories in a day, and I don't know why, but Rita, the fat loss comes from, I don't know if you caught this before, but what Kaylee was saying with the benefits, the fat loss comes between that 12 and that 16-hour window because of what your body's going through and the natural detoxification process. So, and just giving yourself a break. So it doesn't necessarily come, you could even eat the same amount of calories that you do today and then you do tomorrow when you fast. It's just how your body's processing and learning to eliminate and take a break during those days that help people lose weight. So we even did research there, there's actually people that didn't change their diet at all. We don't recommend eating unhealthy by any means or overeating, but there are some people that didn't change their diet at all and still lost weight trying this.
Yeah.
So, and it's because they just gave their bodies a break to do what it was meant to do, which was naturally detox. And then obviously if you're enhancing that with amazing foods that also supplement detoxing, that's even better. But yeah, so a calorie deficit if you're eating a lot, but not, what our concern is that women eat too little. Right?
So many women eat too little.
So
how often do we get people say, I can't believe you're that tiny and you eat all that? And it's like, yeah, we eat really nutritious, healthy food that fuels us. Mm-hmm. And
our bodies know how to process. And
I eat more now than I ever ate.
Yeah, me too.
And I used to be so obsessive with a number, and
Me too.
you were the same way. Yeah. And that's what I actually like about this, is it's very freeing because I just eat until I feel satisfied.
It's intuitive eating.
Yeah, it's really getting you to listen to your body, and that's the number one tool you have, is listening to your thoughts and making the program for you. So many people get obsessed with, I'm doing low carb and I'm doing keto, or I'm going to do paleo, or I don't do green, I don't do this. There's no specific rule. You're eating what feels good to you. Of course, we still don't want you to do dairy or gluten. Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah, obviously once in a while. And we'll be having a beer this weekend. Yeah.
And what you said before, Erin, about getting hangry. I get hangry also. But
do you mean Ashley?
What did I say?
You said Erin.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley, yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
I do get hangry as well, but I am finding that as I'm continuing this and getting used to it, that I'm not hangry. And it's nice because if you are able to do it in the morning, I find I get more hangry kind of in the evening when I'm hungry, but in the morning it's not so bad. So it should level out. And again, start slow. Even if 12 hours is too much, start with 10.
Yeah, but
whatever
Ash,
you gotta do.
Sorry to cut you off. Ash, if you're still breastfeeding, we don't recommend this. So if you're still breastfeeding right now, don't do this.
Yeah,
do it when you're
off.
done. Even if you're breastfeeding twice a day, you're burning tons of calories. There's no point in messing around with that. So just eat your normal way, and when you're done breastfeeding, then you can give this a try, and then you probably won't be as hangry. Because I'll tell you, when I was breastfeeding Rowan, I was so hungry all the time. like I would literally be breastfeeding while Matt was feeding me. Because I was so hungry, I could not even wait till I finished breastfeeding. So don't do it while you breastfeed. Wait to do it after so that your hormone levels are a little bit more balanced and you can control your hunger and know that it's not because you're losing it off your milk. So.
And if you have any last questions, too, shoot them, because I think we're probably wrapping up soon, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, I don't know if Pat's still on here watching or not, but I wanted to see how you were feeling after yesterday's workout. I am super stiff. I hammered their upper body yesterday pretty hard. So I just wanted to see if she was feeling that today. Amanda Hoffman. Intermittent fasting is used all over the world since the beginning of time. North America is very far behind on a lot of things like natural medicine. Yes, Amanda, thank you for saying that. I love that you said that. It is something that they've been doing for years and years and years. And sometimes they didn't even have a choice. Famine and hunter-gatherers, you know what I mean? So it's clearly something that you can do and you can be sustained with. But thank you for saying that. I like that comment.
It is definitely an old natural thing, and I think that it's those natural medicine type things that spoke to me about it, like, and just how it can benefit your body, because I'm always hyper aware and sensitive to any sort of diet. And I know a lot of people are looking at this like that, but no, it's really just a way of eating that we've been doing for a really long time. But in North America and over the last century, we've been ingrained so strongly, especially in the personal training world, that you need to eat as soon as you wake up. You need to eat every couple hours. You need to eat so much protein. And then you get, the dairy industry saying you need to, it's the same thing. Like, we're just we're
being bombarded with false facts.
Yeah, we're manipulated, right? We're manipulated by the food industry and by the pharmaceutical industry. So anyways, that's a whole different Facebook Live, but you were 100% right, and sometimes it's going against the grain of what we've learned, but it's really intuitive. Like, you just have to listen to your body. Like Kaylee, always trying to force yourself to eat is not right.
Yeah.
For me, I'm never going to go an intermittent fast as long as, if I don't feel good. So you do whatever feels right.
What's cool about this too, and what's really cool about this, is that it's not just like the holistic side that's saying to do this. Because sometimes I get a bad rap, and the holistic world gets a bad rap, but there's so many actual medical documents. Like, there was just a Harvard study that one of, I can't remember who sent it to us.
Kristen
Yes.
Collins.
So it's like, if you're one of those people that doesn't necessarily want to listen to the holistic world, there's so many other, like the medical world and the holistic world are coming together on this one. So when they're both in agreement, it can make you feel a lot more reassured.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any other questions? Is there anybody on here that's tried this before?
Yeah, I would love to hear other people's experiences with that as well.
Exactly. If you've tried it and what your experience is like, and if you are interested in trying it and you're on here watching, what benefits are you looking for? Are you looking for fat loss? Are you looking for focus, hormonal balance? Are you looking just for a little bit more control over your food? Like, what is it you're looking for? And while you're typing that, we wanted to talk about, it's the first time we're just kind of doing like a gentle announcement today, but we're actually working on a 10-day challenge right now that is going to incorporate intermittent fasting, and we're going to be introducing it in November. So we're working on a 10-day challenge that's meant to help de-bloat and basically detox you. So if
it's like a tighten and tone kind of 10-day, really focusing on digestive health, bloating, your midsection. We've been working on this since the start of September.
Yeah.
We're really excited. It's been a lot of work. We've learned a lot. We're really, really excited. So that should be coming up in about a month, you said.
Yeah, we're going to be starting it, I think it's like November 6th or in and around that area. So if you are interested, make sure I put the email link. Oh, did I put the email link? I'll put it up above.
I think you did.
In the description, and make sure you sign up for our email list if you're not on there already. And then you'll start to get emails about that as we begin to announce more and more.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this.
Me too. And it's free, by the way. It's gonna be
we're throwing this bad boy out for free.
Yeah, so, and it's going to be a 10-day challenge for all you guys.
So it will be coming with like a meal plan, a workout routine. We're going to be doing Facebook Lives, a lot of hand holding while you do this. We're going to do it as a group. So we'll be doing it with you guys, and we're really, really excited. And there'll be a lot more information to come about that in the next few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for watching, guys. Any more questions you have, obviously put them on here. We'll check in over the next day or so. Not too much over the weekend because we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving with our families, and we hope you enjoy too. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and we hope that you enjoyed and you got something out of it. And if you're a woman, we hope this was specifically geared towards you and that clarified some things.
And also let us know if you have a chance to try any of those Thanksgiving recipes that we put up on Wednesday. Post it in the Facebook group. Let us know what you think and if you enjoyed them. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, awesome sauce. Okay, well, have a great Friday, guys, and
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.